before I truly came to know the Lord, I grew up in a traditional Filipino family where discipline was a central value. My father, a military man, and my mother, a public school teacher, led our home with firm authority. As the only boy and the youngest of three siblings, I often received the strictest discipline, sometimes through harsh words and painful punishments. Our family prayed the rosary regularly, and I learned early about the importance of reverence for God. But as a child, I misunderstood God's character. I carried a heavy belief that my hardship and pain meant God was displeased with me, that I was bad and undeserving of love. At a young age, I experienced a public setback when I lost in a nationally televised singing competition. Instead of comfort, I felt weighed down by the blame and disappointment of relatives. That moment silenced not just my singing voice, but something deep within me. I began to believe that I was worthless and that I could never amount to anything. From that wound, I grew up craving affirmation, chasing recognition through academic and athletic excellence. Outwardly, I appeared confident and capable, but inside, I was a boy with shattered confidence and deep insecurity, hiding behind accomplishments and approval. In college, I pursued one of the toughest medical degree programs in a prestigious university in Manila. For the first 4 years, I seemed to be doing well, at least in the surface. I was a people pleaser, and my family and friends thought that I was a model student. But in the truth, I was really living a double life. Drinking heavily, addicted to computer games and Dota betting, engaging in illegal car drag racing, and becoming involved in inappropriate relationships with multiple men and women. One of those relationships nearly led to a pregnancy, but it ended in a miscarriage. Something I later learned was intentional, leaving me more broken than before. Then came the turning point. I failed a major subject in my final academic year and was expelled from the university. From being the top of my class, I was suddenly labeled as a failure. I was devastated, blaming everyone around me. Eventually, I was diagnosed with clinical depression and attempted to end my life twice. I turned my back on God, convinced that if He was real, He had already given up on me, so I decided to give up on Him too. Fueled by bitterness, I transferred schools and graduated still top of my class, this time driven not by hope, but by revenge and pride. I collected degrees, titles, and accolades. At the age of 25, I became the youngest dean of a physical therapy and rehabilitation school in the Philippines. I had fame, fortune, and power, but inside, I was empty. I became a harsh, unforgiving professor by day and a partygoer by night, consumed by alcohol, drugs, materialism, and sexual immorality. I even entered into a same-sex relationship for emotional and financial security, justifying my choices by pointing to my broken relationship with my father. I told myself, God didn't care, or worse, that He had already condemned me. In 2020, everything changed. As a school official, I was required to attend a university recollection. I had no expectations and really just showed up out of obligation. I had long stopped believing that God cared, but then the speaker began talking about forgiveness. Not just forgiving others, but also facing your own sins and shame. In that moment, something pierced through the walls of my heart. Before I knew it, I stood up shaking, crying and sharing my story in front of the whole university. Years of pain and guilt poured out as I knelt, broken and asking God for forgiveness. That day, I met Jesus, not just a distant judge, but as a loving Savior who had been waiting for me all along. I discovered that true wholeness and completeness is only found in Him alone. And that real freedom and lasting joy come when I choose to obey Him and walk in His ways. From that point on, my life changed. I was introduced to Christ Commission Fellowship, joined a discipleship group, and became actively involved in Big Fridays. What started as simply attending soon became serving as a facilitator, a cluster lead, and later as part of the medical team of the Best Weekend Ever True Life Retreat. God patiently rebuilt my heart, renewing my passion to serve and lead for His glory, not mine. Today, I help co-manage the National HIV and AIDS and STI program of the country. But this time, I don't see it merely as a job or a title. It is a God-given mission to bring hope and healing to people often overlooked by the society. I continue to walk alongside my fellow brothers as an active D group member, and by God's grace, I also now lead a group of men who are intentional in their faith, learning together what it truly means to follow Christ. As Jude 1 verse 24 says, "Now to Him who is able to protect you from stumbling and to make you stand in the presence of His glory, blameless with great joy." I am Olan, once a man hardened by pride, darkness, and apathy, but by God's grace, I am now a devoted follower and beloved son of the living God. All praise and glory to Him alone.